Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, October 2nd, 2023. Before I click through the charts, just want to, as usual, encourage you to please click like if you haven't already, share the content with friends and colleagues, become a Wicked Stocks YouTube channel subscriber, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the Tesla report, daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, that is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 ETFs, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100 index, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as two individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near term investor, always looking for 20% moves or better on those stock picks. Last week we put out NVIDIA and AMD, we do two a week, 8 a month. You could see them all for free. By signing up for wickedstocks.com, we offer a 5-day free trial up front. So if you don't like what you see within 5 days, you can bow out at no cost to you whatsoever. So on with the charts. Weekly chart, we'll start with the big picture, work our way into the day itself. Just a reminder that we came off of this channel top several months ago, and while testing it, now at 321.93, we'd mentioned how the channel support that is well below the market would be in reach within a month or two of testing it, and the properly drawn channel bottom we did in fact test almost 2 months ago the first time. We tested it again last week, so we're riding the channel base. This is a support area, 237.66 on the weekly chart. You can see the right over here that can absorb selling through the rest of the year, and in fact above which I'm still anticipating 340.08 over the next 3 to 5 months. Our meaningful buy signal in terms of upside price acceleration through the rest of the year would be a settlement in the coming weeks above 290.09. And I consider 290.09, the inside channel, to be a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week objective, presently holding above 237.66. So if we slip back into the mid to upper 230s this week, 236.88 is the same formation on the daily chart, 237.66 all week long. If we slip into this area this week, you might reach for 290, 295, 300 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a month. You might go a couple of months out on that, or you might reach for 340, 350, 360 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least 6 months. You might go a full year out on that expiration, as I anticipate this over the next 3 to 5 months. In other words, you don't want to buy a strike whose target won't be realized. Let's say you don't want to buy a 290 or a 300 out of the money call that is expiring in 3 weeks. The market could reach your price point, your objective, only to see the value of that option decay to nothing through time decay. So that is the big picture looking upside. Once again, I don't have a downside target drawn here properly on the weekly chart. We will get to that later this week. We did have it for some time, but I can show the same on the weekly chart, that if we close below the 237.66 channel bottom at the end of the week by a 1% margin, and mind you, that's 235.28. We show it here all week long. If we close there Friday or lower, we do have a sell signal as we move into later October. On the daily chart, I can show you it's in the upper 190s. So if we were to close at or below 235.28 at the end of the week, this 197.50 channel bottom becomes our next, I think, realistically 2 to 3 week target by the end of October. And actually, we do show it here. The same channel bottom on the weekly chart is 194.59, and we have a rising 2/3 speed line that takes into account the January low against the July high. That's also trend defining. And so, I consider 237.66 and 193.68 to be equal in terms of their strength, their significance. And so closing below 237.66 this week by a 1% margin on Friday, 235.28 or lower, does set up 3 to 5 week sell signal or sooner into what is now in the mid 190s, where we could also bottom out into the first quarter of next year. Let's take a look at the upside. That is the path of least resistance above 237.66. And I'm just going to cut to the chase here with the structures that you're probably already familiar with from last week. And that is, the fact that we tested the channel bottom in the mid 230s. We did close Thursday just above this short-term channel top that today is at 242.09. That set up a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 day buy signal into the upper 250s now. We might actually see that level today. I don't know. I do have 247.06 as an intraday support level. I can tell you exactly what those are. 247.06 is nothing more than a 3/8 downside Fibonacci. And why I like it, it is actually just above the 246.35 low from last Friday. So that has pivot point qualities in itself. If we break 247.06, 242.09 in reach where we can bottom out for the day. I also like 242.09 because it's right in line with a 5/8 downside Fibonacci over the last few days. I think that number is 242.29, 242.09 just below it. Able to contain session weakness. We could actually come off of this for the next few days into the upper 250s. So, the 3 to 5 day swing trade, it could be at 242.09 or it could just be 237.66, the long-term channel bottom once again on the weekly chart that I show here. You could buy that and then anticipating, this 258.59 to 259.01 region over the following 2 to 3 to 5 days. 242.09 could also suffice, but it's dropping at a pretty good pace. I would rather just, relegate that for aggressive day traders or day traders in general. Now, upside, holding above 247.06 will keep 258.59 to 59.01 in reach today. All the minor points we've chosen in the local area have been carefully chosen. 254.77, nothing more than Friday's high. 256.78 is a 5/8 upside Fibonacci over the last few weeks. But really, this area, 258.59 to 259.01, is an extreme channel top coming down that is in parallel with the lows from last week. Also, a descending 2/3 speed line off the 278.98 high from the middle of September against the more recent 34.58 low. This area combined is a meaningful upward pivot point into later October. But until then, we might top out here for the week and fall back into the upper 230s within 3 to 5 days. I would say this is your kind of 3 to 5 day, 1 to 2 week dynamic. Not 2 weeks, but we could top out here over the next few days at 258.59 and possibly by Friday's close or into early next week, fall back to the 237.66 longer-term support level where we could bottom out through the rest of the year. Now, if we do close above 258.59 to 259.01 in the coming days, I would see the 289.91 channel top as our next realistically 2 to 3 week target. And so I had mentioned at the beginning of this video how, we have this intermediate channel structure that is considered a 3 to 5 week objective right now. And I will say that if we close today above 258.59, you can narrow that to within 2 to 3 weeks. So if for instance, as we are testing the upper 230s, mid 230s over the last few days, long-term support, a retest of that long-term support, as we were doing that, you might have reached for 290 out of the money calls that don't expire, as I say, for at least a couple of months. And if we close today above 259.01, you can breathe a sigh of relief because I think you'll see it sooner than later. 2 to 3 weeks would be my objective. And if we do close above 259.01 and you've done nothing and you're interested in going long Tesla, I think you then have a green light for a sustained 2 to 3 week rally to 289.91. 289.91 once again on that weekly chart is 290.09, and this area well suited to contain buying at least on a weekly, if not monthly basis. If we rally to this area by the middle of October, later October, we could top out here well into November trade. It would be a settlement, as I said earlier, above 289.91, and once again on the weekly chart, that's 290.09. That would set up a meaningful secondary buy signal that should play out into November, December, and by the end of the year, we could reach this 340.08 channel top to the 237.66 channel bottom. I don't know if there's really anything else that needs to be fleshed out. I think I have covered it all. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'll be back tomorrow. Please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com. You have a great day.